like so many veterans in my stream to watch me play it. Just right, like readily available to ask advice. In fairness, even if you don't have that, like Warframe is a really, really, really well fleshed out like Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That tells you every single thing you could ever want to know about the game. So, pretty good job.
So your future is you remind me of a person, and this is a guy that he's one of my like best friends in the world. His name's Zizarin. Do you know this dude? He's an he's an AR. He's basically like you're kind of like the looter shooter god. This guy's the ARPG god.
I like his branding.
Yeah, it's cool. So he's like all Path of Exile, all Diablo 4, any kind of ARPG type of thing, Last Epoch type of thing. Yeah. So he's sort of set up the same type of
What do you think about YouTube thumbnails that are like YouTube series thumbnails that do things like what if you go back to his it says like day 1, day 2, day 3, or like thumbnails that go like F1, F2, F3. What do you think about those?
His thumbnails need a lot of work. If I'm and Ziz won't kill me for saying this because we're like super close friends. Every video, so something to understand about YouTube is like,
because I've always felt like putting like doing an episode increment on your thumbnails, like I can't put my finger on why, but I always felt like it was like not a great idea.
You're right. Yeah, it's because every individual video that is served on YouTube is served on its own island to its own viewership to its own community. Your thumbnails are some of the best I've seen in gaming. Like dead serious. Like
my thumbnail editor's gonna.
Your thumbnails are really fucking good. Like super good coloration. So like and even better than that is the titles. The titles are really impressive. But like insane boss fight. Like these are
I do
really
the titles.
good.
That makes me feel good.
Yeah, the titles are amazing. Yeah, I particularly like how you oftentimes structure the titles towards your own experience. So it's like a lot of people are afraid of saying "I" in their title because they thought that they'll say that like that's not interesting.
Yeah. Why would people care about you?
Exactly.
More than
I grinded my first Warframe. They look so cool. Like ... Like that title is so good. It has a really good story in it. It implies that by clicking on this, the viewer is going to get an experience from a person first time in this that's like really gonna, and it's going to be like a really cool story arc.
Making me blush.
It's good, man. It's really good. Yeah. I like this a lot. I like the way that you set this up.
I love doing the YouTube stuff. Like, I love every facet of content creation. For like they all have their own things going on.
It's so fascinating, isn't it?
Like, I love like live streaming has such a sense of community that's so unrivaled. I love being able to talk to people in real time. I love being able to like get to know people over the course of a week or a month or a year, or like however long they stay within my stream and continuously hang out in my chat. And then on the YouTube side of things, it like artistically it lets you be so unchained. You can do you can do whatever you want. You can do anything, and you have and there's so many different like areas to. You have the video itself. You've got like the title. You've got the thumbnail. Then you've got like the community post side of things to you can make shorts out of all the videos, and like it's so much cool
and
stuff.
Just like what gets attention and why is so interesting, right?
I love it. Yeah, the analytics genuinely interests me. Like the analytics behind all of it. It's like it's really cool. The idea of like. Dude, even stuff like color theory goes into like thumbnail design. It's like it's so weird. Like the idea of like, hey, if you're gonna make a video every single day, make sure, like I don't know how much validity this has to it, but like this is like an approach I've taken. Like if I'm gonna make multiple videos back to back, like primary color in each of the thumbnails for the videos is something starkly different from the previous one. Don't do like two very blue thumbnails in videos that you're uploading on back-to-back days, because then, especially if the rest of the thumbnail is like a similar format and a similar structure,
because every video is regarded individually, it shouldn't matter too much. It kind of matters in terms of like the flow of your channel as far as subscribers go. Like I think it's very aesthetically pleasing to the video page, like more so
could be. That could be maybe.
But what's really carrying your videos are like the great titles and storylines, and then like really, really sick thumbnails, and then just your genuine experience of it. Like it all makes sense how you've done what you've done, coming full circle, but it's still incredible. And like, if I were, and I think what's particularly interesting is like, I don't think anybody could like open a Google Doc and write out 10 pages on how to duplicate what you've done, because there's so much of your own moral character that has gone into building it, that it's really, really hard, to duplicate, if not impossible, really.
It's it's kind of like a happenstance thing. I'm trying to find, you said it was aesthetically pleasing. I'm trying to find, I just really good, like, I don't know if you'll be able to open it because of,
You can tell me where to go, though. Yeah.
Well, it's in my studio.
Oh, right. Okay. I can figure that out. Hold on.
If I DM'd it to you on Twitter, could you pull it up?
Yeah.
Get ready to turn right.
I had like a. It just when you said aesthetically pleasing, it made me think of this. But I did like I had a series of videos that were like the thumbnails were like rainbow.
Oh yeah, let me show it. Wait, look.
It went like pink to purple or something. I just
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
X's.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm good.
No, I was saying if X is being annoying.
Keep right.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. Oh, my webcam might be covering it. Yeah. I remember seeing that in my studio.
It's like
I was just like,
purple,
super
blue,
satisfied.
green, yellow, red. Like it's like full color spectrum. I love this. These titles
I
are
like
so
it a lot.
good, man. Your titles just kill me. Like it's such like for anybody that's listening, it's like okay, like these titles are so good.
I wonder. So, I try to be. I watch a decent amount of YouTube just for like personal enjoyment.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, as most do. I try to be really, really intense. Something that's really helped me a lot, like understand YouTube and get really good at YouTube. I try to be very, very like mindful and observant when I'm watching YouTube, even if it's just for enjoyment of like what like the thumbnails look like that I'm clicking on and what the titles of the videos are that I'm clicking on. And just try and like notice like trends and titles and stuff like that, because like for the most part it's very transferable across different genres. And so it's like if I'm watching like videos of like I've been watching like Pokemon videos recently of like Pokemon national decks complete, or sorry, I forgot you said you missed the Pokemon wave. Like Pokemon videos. And like I'll notice, I'm like, this video is very, very captivating. Like the thumbnail is grabbing my attention. Something about the title really makes me want to click on the video. Why? And I'll try. I really like to try and pay attention to that and see if I can replicate it in my own stuff, and kind of like morph it to fit the Destiny or Warframe scheme that I'm trying to do.
And have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why my thumbnails and titles are decent.
What's the will it build a series?
Yes.
It's a very good name because it almost doesn't imply a series. It almost implies a question. So like, enemies deal 0 damage to this build. Will it build? Like, does it work? Like, and then they're like, oh, I kind of guess I gotta go find out if it works.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Usually they work.
It looked like the storylines look really good. I like everything kind of like begs you to not only watch the video but watch it for a long time to see its conclusion. It's really good.
Yeah, YouTube's really fun.
YouTube's so fun, man. Just the attention
It's
economy. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's a tough one to crack.
Well, it's
and the thing about YouTube is like you always have to continue like cracking it. You have to keep figuring stuff out. You have to keep like adapting your strategy. It's just like, it's fun. Keeps your brain turned.
It
I like
does,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot too, because like I'm just like, it's a catalog of creations that I'm proud of.
Yeah, right. And
Like,
you can like go back at it and look like years later. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a library of stuff where I'm like, man, like I remember what I was doing in life when I was making that video. I remember like, oh, like I remember I was doing this one. I was in the middle of moving, and I was in between moving boxes. I was texting my editor and telling him that we should make the thumbnail look a little bit like this. Just like, I don't know. Everyone's like, you look back, and you're just like, it's nice. It's fun to like just have that like it's like a memory wheel, I guess.
What this is a big one, but it's important. Is like, what have you kind of learned along the way, and what advice would you have for like people that are sort of aspiring to do this in 2024?
God.
It's a hard one, I know.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I did a lot of stuff wrong from like a strategy perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like streaming for 5 months before ever starting doing stuff on YouTube, stupid. It's like statistically and objectively stupid, right? I think the number one, I know a lot of people want to stream, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to stream. Like, I always get a question like, hey, if I want to start streaming, what do I do? It's like, the answer is always don't stream. Make stuff on YouTube and TikTok first. Or do it alongside your streaming.
Yes.
But like, you like, I don't want to say the answers are obvious, because they're not. It's a very complex industry and a very complicated industry. But when it comes to like strategy for like growing channels, if that makes sense, like there is try to be very reflective of like what you're doing, and try to like, what I've tried to do over the past 4 years is I try to look at every piece of my process, and I try to diagnose whether or not this is working well, whether it could be working better, or whether it's not working at all, right? So my content strategy has adapted a lot over the years when it comes to like giving a little bit more time and energy to the YouTube side, trying to see if I can give a little bit more time and energy to the Twitch side, experimenting with creating YouTube videos. Hey, how do these YouTube videos work if I edit them very heavily and create them outside of my stream and do voiceovers and scripts, versus how are these YouTube videos that are recorded live on stream that are kind of more on the fly, live commentary. Like, just be willing to experiment with different things and try different things, and but not only that, like do a autopsy's not the word I want to use, because that's grim.
Look at your dead videos.
No.
Yeah.
A debrief maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Post-op or something like that. Like, look, like pay attention, like, because I got into the habit of like just uploading a video, let's see how many views it gets. Okay, I got this many views, move on, and then like forget, like on to the next one. There's a lot of really, really valuable information to be had from like analytics of a video a week after you upload it, a month after you upload it,
Yeah.
3 months after you upload it. And I think a lot of people don't go and look at that information. That information can tell you a lot. It can tell you a lot about like, even something as simple as like, dude, is your intro too long? Are you losing too many people 30 seconds into your video?
Yes.
Like, is there a way your intro can be spruced up? Are there certain things that you're doing in the video that you're consistently doing in a lot of your videos that are dropping a lot of people? Hey, at the 10-minute mark in this video, I lost 5% of the current people watching. Same thing happened at the 15-minute mark in this video. Same thing happened at the 11-minute mark in this video.
Yeah.
What's going on? Am I consistently doing something that's dropping people? Like what's happening? Experiment with different like CTAs for engagement. things like, you know, like when you ask people to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, try different strategies for that. Try funny versions, try serious versions, try things of that nature. Go back to the videos and look at the statistics and like pay attention to the ratio of like how many views the video got versus how many people subscribe to the channel off of that video. Like, are different strategies working better? Like, there's a lot you can learn if you go back, in my opinion, if you go back and you look at a video, and you actually pay attention to like the stats of that video, how many subs you're getting from a video, what things are happening, like you said the word for it, but the abbreviation for it, but the graph,
the average
where like
duration or average watch time.
yeah, that can tell you so much.
Do you look at it a lot?
That is, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is such that, in my opinion, is such a powerful tool.
And that's informed your decisions, like to create better stuff, to create better intros and things like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because
well,
or at the very least, it tells you what not to do. If you're diligent about actually looking at, like, when the dip is, go into your video and, like, be like, okay, is there anything I can notice that, so someone told me one time, and I don't know how much legitimacy this has to it, but I felt like it's true to a certain degree. You are always going to be the most interested in your own video.
Interesting. Okay.
So if you're watching your own video and you feel like it's like dragging at a certain point, if your own video is making you lose interest at a certain
your
point,
subs will be like, this sucks. Yeah.
The other person watching is absolutely going to lose interest.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's like, if you can look at this average view duration graph and you see people are dipping, go back and watch your own video, and try to be unbiased with yourself, try to be impartial with yourself, right? Like, be like, okay, how much am I really engaged with this? How much is this really paying attention? How much is this really intriguing me? Because clearly, 13% of the viewers that were watching left right at this point. Right? So is there something going on? Is it the specific, like, was there a specific transition to something else and now the new thing that I'm doing? Oh, people must not like that thing. People must not be interested in that thing. Oh, maybe I'm showing this piece of footage, or maybe I'm talking about this topic for too long. Maybe this is dragging on. I think there's a lot of info that can be gathered from there. That's from the YouTube side of things. I think from the live streaming side of things, I think my advice is not very good if your goal is to get as many viewers as humanly possible. Because that is not my objective when I live stream. I am much more concerned with community building and like catering to a very specific type of viewer than I am getting the number to go as high as possible, right?
Okay.
And I think you have to be, if you want to do something similar, I think you have to accept the fact and be willing to accept the fact that your live stream content is not going to be for everyone, and that's going to be okay. And that your live stream growth is probably not going to be as fast as it would be if you were catering to 4 or 5 extra demographics, right? But I think either are legitimate strategies. It just depends what you want out of live streaming. I love the community building aspect of live streaming. It's my favorite part of it. I love it so much. It's what keeps me engaged and intrigued, and it's like genuinely the reason why I'm like excited to wake up and do my job, right? It doesn't even feel like a job.
Is there certain things people should say? Is there certain things like people should, like ways they should engage? Like,
oh God. I wish I could answer that, because the answer.
We're never gonna know the answer. I think I'm losing you. Hang on.
Everyone's.
Hang on. We've completely lost in chat. We're never gonna know the answer.
I cannot really hear.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, are you back? Nope. Hold on 1 second. Oh no.
You're very robotic.
Yeah, same. 1 second.
To our window that you agreed on, because some of them have to leave.
5,000 ms on our voice connection. Hold on. Let's retry. 1 sec. Are you there?
Yeah.
Dude, Discord does this thing sometimes where it just literally throws you into like 5,000 ms. That's what just happened. So like I was looking down at our connection. Yeah, we're at 20 ms now. We're at 5,000 now. I'm gonna throw it back on. I just wanted to.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I completely lost you on the community building thing, and I think it's this is going to be like a thing that I know it's hard to answer, but
yeah,
there may not be anyone better at doing this on Twitch than you. so like it's a very safe assumption to so I mean at least I'm like hanging on every word for sure, and I think people will too. But yeah,
I really want to come up with an answer other than like I'm just being who I am.
You have to come up with an answer better than that.
I know, because I know that's not helpful, but it's like I'm not. You know, like I'm not booting up a stream. I'm not booting up stream, and I'm like, oh, like I know this is a good thing to say because I know this really gets people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more of a question of like your individual values that cause you. Because I know you're not at this point. I'm positive you're not intentionally gaming the system at all. Like you're authentically you.
Yeah.
But that answer's not. That answer's not something that people can like take and then do something.
For sure.
It's one of those things where it's like, how did you make that plot? And they're like, I just made the plot, bro. It's like.
Yeah, I know.
Cool?
Yeah, I just know how to make
really
plots.
Cool. I'd love to know how to do that.
All right. You might have to edit out a lot of dead space.
No, I want to give you time to think. I love that you take this. Something I noticed about you is you take a lot of time to think about your answers and make sure they're good. Most people don't do that.
Yeah. I think word choice is like really important because
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very like I'm very like into like linguistics and stuff too. Like I love that. Like, yeah, just like I think there's like always such a perfect word to use in every situation, you know? I just like that. Yeah. So some words encapsulate certain feelings and emotions and situations a lot better than other words.
And English in particular has such an incredible breadth of words because there's been so many influxes from other languages. There's even just like during the Norman invasion, we got 12,500 French words, right? Like there's so many things to use to be able to describe where you're at. Yeah. It's
it's an extremely expressive language. Like you can, if you know a lot of the words, you really can like put exactly the way you feel into words, and there is no mistaking. Like there's no way to misconstrue what you're saying.
There's always like a profound way to say something if you focus hard enough on it. Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's I can't see you, by the way. I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Yeah, maybe good.
Yeah, there we go. Yay. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
Go straight.
When we were kind of talking about, kind of spitballing here for the record, by the way.
That's all right.
I'm just kind of trying to like string this together as it makes sense in my mind.
It'll look really cool on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll look like you had a completely coherent train of thought.
Like, I'm so insanely smart.
And people are like, "Damn, that's insane! This guy's got it." You'll instantly have an answer. Yeah.
Like I'm levitating or something. Yeah. I just like know. We kind of talked about like we kind of talked about the profound effect that like gaming content had on me when I was younger, when I was like struggling socially.
Yeah.
Right. I have a lot of like disdain for any type of like bullying activity, if that makes sense. I very much dislike people that like are rude to others just for the sake of it. I really dislike the idea of like being disrespectful to someone because you think it's funny, like having a laugh at someone else's expense. Like at least when you don't know each other like that. Obviously, if they're like, you know, friends poke at each other, that's like a friendly thing to do.
Yeah.
On the internet, it's a lot more. I think a lot of times people don't really treat people like people, and I really don't like that. And there was a point in my life where it felt like I wasn't really being treated like a person. I wasn't really being treated with like the respect that I think everyone deserves, right? I think so long as you treat other people with respect, you absolutely deserve respect in return. And I think there's a lot of not good stuff out there. I think there's a lot of just people projecting their struggles onto other people, people taking their bad emotions out on other people. I think there's a lot of like whacked out priorities. You noted the individual who you said they were like filming their friend who was bleeding in their car, saying it was such good content. Like, and obviously not everyone's like that. But I think there's a lot of people that are willing to go to really great lengths and things that are really like morally ambiguous to get views and to get content. And I've always been very anti that. And I've always been very about like you know, we kind of talked about my upbringing. You said you had a similar one. Like to me, there was like an objective moral good instilled into me from a very young age that was like hammered into my brain all throughout my childhood and all throughout my upbringing. Like honesty, loyalty, integrity were genuinely that important. And I've always kind of like operated in a way in which I think that the more that those qualities are in the world, the better the world is. We kind of talked about how, you know, talking about how content creators or influencers in general kind of have an obligation to encourage their audience to put good into the world. I also feel that I have that responsibility, whether I'm a content creator or not, honestly. I think like even if like everyone always has an audience, whether you're streaming or whether you're just going about your day-to-day life, whether you have one viewer, whether you have 10,000 viewers, like everyone influences others in some way, shape, or form. And you know, that's not saying perfect or anything like that. I've certainly been mean to people sometimes. I've certainly probably said things I shouldn't have said, certainly done things I shouldn't have done, right? But I really do try my best to live and operate and encourage others to live and operate in a manner that aligns with those values that were instilled in me. And I think a lot of other people really, really place a lot of stock into those values as well. And I think there's not enough places in the world that are promoting the importance of those. And so I think the people that also allow those types of values to govern their lives, when they see a community that is built upon those values, I think it resonates with them. I think it resonates with them very strongly. And I think also like what comes along with those with those values, generally speaking, is like being there to support one another, and being there to take care of one another and things of that nature. And I think that's led to, you know, for those who are looking at this for like the success angle, I would imagine that's probably led to individuals who have the financial means to do so, like feeling compelled to take care of me. I would guess, right? Like I you know, that's as much sense of it as I can make, right? Because I think I know for a verifiable fact that I yearn to do for others what has been done for me when I'm older and I'm in a position to do so, right? But like when I'm in a financial position to do so, I yearn to find others that hold those similar values like near and dear, and I would love to support them to the same degree that others have supported me, right? Whether it's aiding them in starting a business, whether it's like aiding them with advice, whether it's, you know, maybe it's a streamer I like and aiding them by gifting a shit ton of subs the same way others have done for me. And I think there's like a proverbial smell test that people who place a lot of importance on those values, like it's kind of like the birds of a feather fly together thing. Like I think like people know who their people are, if that makes sense. And I think people that like really do place so much importance on these values, they kind of know when they see another person who really does like live that through their actions as well. And I think it's just like I really genuinely believe you attract the type of people based on what you put out into the world. And so I think if you put genuine good out into the world, and like and you don't just say it, you do it with your actions, you believe it. You know, you do things like you help people whenever you're able to. You do things like as an example, I've been trying to be like really intentional about, so like I said, I'm in a really good financial position thanks to all, you know, how good the last 4 years have been going with both the support for my content, that in conjunction with my full-time job. I'm in a position where like I'm in a good spot. I'm trying to like be really intentional with like giving to charities and stuff like that. Like I think if you genuinely put good into the world, you will attract others who also want to put good into the world. And those types of individuals, in my opinion, tend to be really, really supportive of other people who put a lot of importance on those types of things.
I'm so glad I met you, man. Like you're like a breath of fresh air in a world that has all these problems. You're like a person who took the golden rule and actually decided to do it.
I had a lot of really good mentors in my life. My parents were incredible. I also had a lot of like other just like very, 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 very wise individuals and very, very like I mean like I am the people that raised me.
Yeah, I understand.
And I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to be raised by people who like
never mind,
just knew what was actually important in life. Because